really long time since I've had to say goodbye to a city or a place and people. Yeah, I never thought I would have lived in San Francisco Bay on a boat off and on for a year. We got to sail every corner of the bay. Such a cool place to sail, unbelievable. And how iconic to go out under the bridge and turn left to go to warmer weather.
There's a lot of feels for me in this area because I was born right there in the city and I grew up just on the other side of the bridge. So the amount of times that I've driven over that bridge is the thousands. And, you know, never once in any of those times that I drove over the bridge did I ever imagine going off to sea and finding the love of my life and getting a boat together and starting a sailing school and, you know, sailing out like this and going and exploring. So all of the sailing and adventuring that I've done, it's always been like so far from home, and to be able to start an adventure from the place that I was like born and grew up in, it just like resonates in this really like deep sentimental part of me. So yeah, super grateful.
Thanks for sharing this part of our life together.
Anything.
Love you. Let's go.
Let's go. And welcome to Life on Passage. After all the excitement of actually leaving and setting the sails, there's suddenly a whole lot of time and space to just stare out at the ocean, poke around on the nav charts, and settle in to our watch rotation. We were stuck between a rock and a hard place picking our weather window for this passage, as some major low pressure systems were spinning their way across the Pacific and towards the California coast. We had two options: sail out into 50 knots on the nose, or motor between the lows and keep our fingers crossed for some wind. We decided to go for the latter.
I'm thankful we're not in like 50 knots of wind right now.
Yeah.
I'm okay motoring for a little bit.
Yeah. What we didn't know at the time was that California was about to experience the biggest, wettest, most brutal winter that it had seen since 1952.
Dangerous storms lined up in the Pacific, getting ready to hit Northern California.
All the rescuers and fire stations in this area have their heavy rescue equipment ready to go. I'm going to say it again, 12 atmospheric rivers in one season. That is a tremendous number of atmospheric rivers.
Hours before El Dorado County authorities ordered evacuations, some Cameron Park residents already made the decision to leave.
Across Northern California, communities are seeing the impact from the recent rain and snowstorms.
This is just another reminder you do not want to be anywhere near a river, a creek, or a stream right now, because this is what we're seeing across the region.
About 7 p.m. Tuesday, a huge 200-foot wide, 25-foot tall avalanche hit a 3-story apartment building in Olympic Valley near Palisades Ski Resort, burying 2 floors with fortunately no casualties.
These are big atmospheric rivers, those big plumes of moisture out in the Pacific that feed us with the rain and snow that we actually need this time of year. It's just, on the flip side of things, it can be quite hazardous. So it's both the mix of the beneficial and the hazardous that we look at for these atmospheric rivers.
But like I said, we didn't know any of this at the time. So as we were settling into our first night at sea of the season, we were still obliviously optimistic. Before we continue with the story, a quick word from our sponsor.
We are stoked to share that this video is sponsored by AG1. We've been drinking AG1 aboard Lintika for over a year now, and it matches perfectly with living aboard a sailboat. It's a super easy way to do something good for yourself each morning. It takes up very little space, which is really important on a sailboat, and it's delicious. So drinking AG1 has become a ritual aboard Lintika every single morning. It's super simple. You have this nice little bottle, you put a scoop of AG1 inside, you add water, shake it up, drink it down, and boom! You get 75 vitamins and minerals, you get antioxidants to support the immune system, and you get probiotics to support gut health. I've definitely noticed a difference in my energy throughout the day, and my personal favorite thing is that it's packed with adaptogens and superfoods that counteract free radicals. So if you'd like to start your day by doing something truly good for yourself, go to athleticgreens.com/Cruisers Academy. If you go there, you're going to get 5 free travel packs and a free year supply of D3K3 with your first order. Well, we're about 180 miles south. We've been motoring the whole way, so it's a little bit unfortunate, but at least we weren't going against southerlies that were like 30 or 40 knots because we're dodging all these lows. But we just got the sail up for the first time, and we're probably about an hour away from Morro Bay. Yeah! So we'll hide in there for a little bit. There's another low coming, and then once that one passes, we'll head back out, go around Point Conception, which is apparently like a pretty big deal, I guess. I was just reading about it, and it's the Eastern Cape. It's gnarly.
Obviously, it would have been a little bit nicer to be able to sail down, but the reality is that despite having to motor, everything went really well, and Lintika handled it. That is by far the longest we've ever run the engine on this boat. So break her in a little bit. I think now she has like 270 hours on her or something, so she's still pretty new. But this morning we got to watch the sunrise over Big Sur, and now we're just coming into Central California. This whole area is really beautiful. All these little towns are kind of scattered along the coast. Yeah, Morro Bay is kind of a sleepy little town, so it'll be fun to walk around and see what we can get up to for the next few days.
Look at them all out there.
Yeah, they're big.
Look at them all. Holy shit. Okay, now I've seen everything.
I feel like I have 2 uncles with these 2 on board. They're so funny, just talking about dirt bikes and all the cool shit that they're up to. They're both awesome in their own way, right? But they're also like brothers. So we're just hanging out, talking about stuff. It's pretty cool.
You know, when you're on a boat with someone for 10 days straight, you get to know them pretty good. So I think we're on day 3 so far, and yeah, more to go. Oh yeah, what's the pucometer at?
4.
4.
4 is all it took, and then
times.
we're done.
Nice.
Got that out of my system, and now we're good.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Did anything else exciting happen?
We just made water, first time. That was nice.
That's exciting.
So we made 13 gallons in about 20 minutes.
Yep.
Boom.
Boom. Topped the tanks up, shut it down, flushed it.
Done deal.
So easy.
That's awesome.
So good. So I've never been here in Morro Bay, but it looks pretty cool. From the guidebook, it says it sounds like a really protected spot that you come into, and you have 360 degrees of coverage. I called on the radio and talked to the harbor master, super nice, and she said you can tie up to a dock if you want, you can grab a mooring if you want, or you can anchor if you want. So it's kind of like the opposite of San Francisco, where they're like, stay away from our docks, there's a 5-year wait list. It's like, just welcome, come, and then somebody will come down and say hi and greet you, is all she said.
Yeah, I think she said the yacht club's like volunteer ran.
Yeah,
so
yeah, the yacht club that has
shows
the
up.
dock is volunteer run, so Yeah, that's nice. Feels good to be on the move.
Cool.
Speaking of being on the move, if anyone is interested in taking a sailing vacation this summer, bookings are now open for our flagship Sailing Fundamentals course in Lake Tahoe, California. Also known as CA1, this 4-day course is the experience we wish we could have had before starting our sailing journey. It's designed not only to teach you how to sail, but to help you buy your first boat, crew on bigger boats, or get involved in your local sailing community. Head on over to cruisersacademy.com to snag your spot and sail with us this summer.
In 1542, Portuguese explorer Juan Rodrigues Cabrillo named Morro Bay's magnificent landmark El Morro, which is Spanish for crown-shaped hill. This volcanic plug is thought to be 23 million years old and is the 9th peak in a row of mountains known as the Nine Sisters. It's been a landmark for seafarers for hundreds of years, but Morro Rock has been an important site for humans long before explorers made their way to California, and is a sacred site to the Salinan and Chumash tribes. It's also sacred to the peregrine falcon, who've called this rock home even when they were almost pushed to the brink of extinction. The landmark wasn't originally attached to the mainland, and this 580-foot-tall island was almost quarried into oblivion for 80 years, from 1889 to 1969, with an estimated 1 million tons of its byproducts used by the Army Corps of Engineers to build the breakwater you see here today. Morro Rock gained protection in the 1960s, when it officially became a state park. Since then, it's been off limits to the public. But there's an ongoing dispute between the local tribes. While the Salinan people are permitted to climb Morro Rock for their biannual solstice ceremonies, the Chumash tribe are fighting that right with a legal dispute because they believe the rock is so sacred it should never be climbed at all. This dispute is an interesting one, as each group has good intentions, but their own unique idea for how Morro Rock should be protected and respected. Through this wild history, a safe harbor for cruisers was created, and it was the perfect place to ride out the next low-pressure system headed our way. And it turns out, we weren't the only ones hiding out in this protected estuary.
All right, time to go find some otters. Fingers crossed. They're like kind of skittish, but then they're a little bit interested. They'll kind of pop up and look at me, and one came kind of close, but hopefully the curiosity gets the best of them. They come in for a shot. Lots of sea lion drama out here on this pier that they've been relegated to. All right, otters are officially my new favorite animal. It's so pretty out here. Look at this. How gorgeous this is. So beautiful. This is a really cool spot. Hey, what are we doing?
We're working on the Cantina. There's a lot of apprehension about drilling into nice teak and stuff.
Can you tell me the whole backstory of this item here?
With this table.
Yes.
So, when we first bought the boat, there was nothing here. This wasn't here, this wasn't here. It was completely empty here, which is awesome to have a lot of space, but then you have no table.
Because Justin ripped out the old
Justin
table.
ripped out, it used to be like a single island that came out like this. There was a leaf that went up on that side and a leaf that came up on this side. But we redesigned this area to have, when the table's folded up, you still have an area here to put shit. And then you have your cabinet down here for tons of storage. In true Justin style, his parting gift to us in Lintika was to give us a lesson in woodworking. Our project was to build this custom table, storage cabinet, and shelving unit that we were now turning into a bar.
All right, after a couple days in Justin's, what'd you call it, a wood dungeon?
I don't want to call it that anymore.
You don't want to call it that anymore? We have kind of the base of the table, which is this box, but...
It's a beast of a box.
It is a beast of a box, and now we're trying to make it not a parallelogram. Do you ever feel like a mad scientist down here?
Yes. Yes, all the time. We've designed this table that's going to fold up against the wall like that. So it'll be like that when it's up, and then behind this on that wall is going to be shelving that comes out about 4 inches.
Will we be able to dance on this table?
Well, that was part of it. Should be able to dance on it, jump up and down.
I don't know.
No, I don't know about that.
How about that?
It's gonna be strong, but
I'm just kidding.
well, no, we were thinking about like, what if somebody falls into it, or like when you're getting in, people are gonna do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you push it on, don't pull it back off.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Ready for insertion?
Yep.
All right. What I'm gonna do is make everybody cry by drilling a bunch of holes in this nice teak.
There'll be small holes.
Small holes.
Yeah, small holes.
We'll fill them with teak.
You can fill them with teak dust.
Teak dust, but it'll be an eye screw, bungee, eye screw, bungee, eye screw, bungee, eye screw,
and so on.
So that way they are separated from each other from banging, but tight against there. What's the word I'm looking for?
It's more symmetrical, more structured.
More purposeful, more
intentional.
Intentional. This is very intentional. So 5 bottles per row, and then hot sauces up top. Of course, there's a lot of other alcohol storage happening if we need it, but well, yeah, this is just your go-to tasters. Join us next time as we sail Lintika to the Channel Islands and across the border into Mexico. If you've been enjoying these episodes, please remember to subscribe to this channel. Or if you love these videos, please consider joining us on Patreon. Thanks for the constant love, and we're excited to continue sharing more episodes.